Ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
You want to get nuts? Come on!
Welcome to the Outlaw Blitz interviews.
Get about the curveball, Ricky. Give him a heater.
You can't handle the truth.
All right, everybody, it's showtime!
Take your position.
And just like that, we are live and we are back. We have Ian Flanigan.
Yeah, less than 12 hours later.
Less than 12 hours later. So what we thought was going to happen actually did happen, and it's awesome that it did happen.
Yep.
We're going to have one final. This is an interview cut, but a great interview cut to have.
Yeah, and a great way to end the season one for everything. So
Yeah. Ian Flanigan, fresh off of a third-place finish on The Voice. Team Blake.
Yep.
Saugerties resident.
Yep.
Shot to stardom in the last couple of weeks. So I can imagine, just the feel of what he's going to tell us.
Yeah, I mean, and has he been able to decompress at all since the finale, which was just a few days ago?
Right, and how crazy his world's gotten flipped, in that short amount of time. So we are going to reach out to Ian on the phone, and once we get him on, we will be right back.
Sounds good.
She take Colorado if he take her with him. Closes the door before the winter lets the cold in. She wonders if her love is strong enough to make him stay. She's answered by the taillights shining through the window pane. He said, I want to see you again, but I'm stuck in colder weather. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Can I call you then? She said, you're lead man. You ain't never gonna change. You got a gypsy soul to blame, and you were born for leaving. Yes, I love you, but I leave it. I don't want you, but I need you. You know it's you that calls me back here, baby. I'm a red lead man, but never gonna change. The gypsy soul to blame, and I was born for leaving.
Yeah, Blake. Oh, I love you. Wow.
Where's your beard that's supposed to go from here to there? Your hat, your giant beer gut, all the stuff that goes along with that voice that you have. How is that possible? He's on my team.
He's on your team.
This guy's on my team.
Tell Blake who you are and where you're from.
My name's Ian Flanigan. I'm 30 years old. I'm currently living in a motorhome, touring full-time with my family.
Wow.
My goodness.
And gargling broken glass.
Yes.
Also.
My hobby.
You have so much richness in that baritone of yours. Sounds like you've lived 1,000 lives.
I mean, your voice sounds like it's already on a record. Like, it's so beautiful. I can't wait to see what happens next with you.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Your voice sounds like you would travel around the world for a living. Like, it's like literally, it sounds like a passport that's been used forever. The only reason that held me back was range-wise. I didn't know where it was going to go. And by the end of it, you kind of showed a little bit of it. And I noticed that Shelton was turned around. And, well, you're a country singer. And sometimes we get defeated. So I think that you're really talented. I'm so happy you're on the show.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Ian, I have been racking my brain trying to think, who does he sound like? And the closest thing that I can think of is Joe Cocker. Mm-hmm. But the fact that I can't figure it out, That's saying a lot about your artistry. I don't know if there was an accident that made you have that voice, like you accidentally swallowed fire at some point as a child. Or,
superhero origin story.
Exactly. DNA from a lion.
DNA from a lion.
Now you're on Team Blake. We're going to have a blast, dude.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
All right, and it's G-Mac and Winnie, and we are back with Ian Flanigan.
Ian, good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Thanks for having me.
Where did we catch up with you today, Ian? Where are you in the country?
Right now, I'm around Naples, Florida.
Oh, well, you should be happy because back here in Saugerties, we're dealing with a blizzard that we just had 2 days ago.
Yeah, I heard you guys got like 2 feet. I missed the snow, though.
Yeah, we got blasted pretty good. Things are starting to get cleared up. Nobody's plowed George's driveway yet, so it was navigating to get in. But other than that, things are looking pretty good here.
Well, that's good.
So how much of a whirlwind week has it been for you?
Oh, it's been like a whirlwind 6 months. I just am getting back. I've spent a total of 6 months away from my home this year, and this last week was the whole finale. Prepping for that. That's every day, all day long, and for it to be over and just sitting back here is just crazy that it happened and that it's over.
I can imagine. I mean, so you're originally from Saugerties, and then
Saugerties, New York. Yep.
And then eventually you decided to go out and do a tour, kind of like you and your family.
Yeah, Saugerties, as you guys know, the winter is pretty tough there, and for music, it all kind of dies down. The bulk of the music down in New York and up north is all summer and fall. So for me, I was having really good summers, but it was taking me away from the family, and as soon as November would come, the money would just be gone. Right. So instead of me going off on my own, there was a series of events that kind of got Ayla and I just thinking outside the box. And we had always wanted to try the motorhome life, but it just kind of forced our hand into just selling everything we owned. And we just went for it. We just went 100% all in, bought a motorhome, got the kid, got a dolly to tow the car, and we just hit the road.
That's brave. That takes some guts to get out there and just, grab the bull by the horns and take that chance. Was it, first starting out, was it what you expected? I mean, were you able to find gigs right away? Was it tough? I mean, where was your first trip to?
Well, we started out, we did a straight shot from November right out to Arizona, where we had a work situation done where Ayla and I were doing kind of a work trade for a free hookup for our RV. So we went to this arboretum, just this basically a botanical garden out in the desert, out in the Sonoran Desert in Arizona. And we worked there while I would drive to Phoenix and, trying to get up towards Flagstaff and Sedona and Bisbee, Arizona. Just being able to park somewhere and then drive a couple 100 miles in any direction is where we were trying to do. So we went to Arizona, and it was a little rough. And after we finished our time there, we went to Austin, Texas. And that's where I, found some good luck. And I was able to play at Austin City Limits with Bob Schneider out there. And I had been going out to Texas prior years doing songwriter festivals. So I had a little bit of a crowd worked up already. But it's, we've had a lot of blessings along the way. And then we've had, like when we got to Nashville, it was a tornado the week after we got there, and COVID canceled every tour for everybody. So it was just 4 months of holding on and trying to not whittle away. And as soon as we got to Nashville, after all the shows were canceled, we were basically on our last dollar. And my last show was a open mic at the Mercy Lounge. And that ended up being a scouting opportunity for The Voice.
Wow.
And it was literally that open mic that got me into this entire competition. We had like $80 at the time, and we were living in a trailer park. So it kind of was a last-ditch effort and just came through.
That's incredible. I mean, talk about divine intervention right there.
Absolutely. I was going to say, God heard that voice.
There's only that way to describe it. We don't even try to overthink it. Just consider it a blessing.
We also want to congratulate you because you were recently engaged, right? Recently on one of your trips back home.
Yeah. No, we just got engaged a month ago or 2 months ago.
Awesome. Congrats. So you meet somebody from The Voice that night, and then how quick does that process really kick off?
Well, with COVID, it was different. This year has definitely been different than any other season. So I think normally it might go a little faster, but we had so many quarantines and testing stages. It was months of that. It was just months of them figuring out if the industry was going to be allowed to be able to do the show. There was one point where we thought that it was all going to fall through, like completely. But for us, it was about 3 months.
Oh, it's not bad.
No.
So you go in that first. What were your nerves like that first time going in for the audition part, where the blind audition?
Yeah, the whole process to it is, it's hard to describe. It's a really long process, but at the same time, for us, we were isolating, so we were quarantined in hotel rooms. So when we did get up to do the blind audition, it was kind of like an overload of the senses. It's like sensory overload. We're going from just being quarantined and isolated in a hotel room to like big lights, big band, huge sound, and then 4 super famous people. So it was, my nerves were definitely, they were there for sure. My whole thing was just trying to stay tunnel vision and focus on getting through the song, because that's not the time to forget a lyric.
Oh no.
Now, everybody that you hear, over and over again, he sounds like he has a familiar sound to sound like. Do you get like a Joe? Do you get Joe Cocker the most? Because that's what everybody around here is like. Oh, it's like a Joe Cocker feel. It's just a real Southern.
I get Joe Cocker, and I forget who the other one is. I get the other one a lot. But yeah, Joe Cocker I hear almost every day. Which is good. I like Joe Cocker. He's got the same struggle as I do with the rest. It's real.
I had to find it, but Joe Cocker, but a little more refined. The sound. It's funny because listening to Blake talk about it, what do you call your voice this week? The something monster, the gentle monster, and I'm like,
oh, the friendly monster.
The friendly monster. That's it. I'm like, yeah, I get it because it's very warm and inviting, but it's got that soul and that raspiness to it. So, how was it working with Blake?
I mean, Blake is the same thing as you guys and me, just chilling. Like this same conversation. He's just down to earth. He's got music on his mind, and he's not really worried about, trying to impress anybody or build anybody up. He's just a straight shooter. Like when we're in those rooms together, we're working. So we're working on my voice, on my delivery, and also producing with the band. So it's pretty straight to business. And all the other times we're just hanging. He's just a funny guy. Cracks a lot of jokes.
That's got to, help keep the room loose. I mean, how long are these days? How long are you guys actually, when you're working on, doing the song and arrangements and stuff like that? How long are you actually in the rooms working on the stuff on an average day?
Well, it varies. Sometimes it's 15 minutes. Sometimes it's an hour. It all depends on the day and what we're doing. Like if we're recording at a studio, it might be a half hour. If we're working with a band, it might be an hour and 20.
So just like a typical band practice kind of time frame.
Yeah, it's very, there's not a lot of pressure in the rooms because the band itself is some of the most amazing musicians like on the planet. So it's not like you're worried about getting tight or everybody's got to learn their parts. Like they just know all the parts of everything at all times. They're crazy. So it's really just more trying a few different options with the click tracks and making sure you're locking in your timing.
Now throughout the season, every song you had your guitar. Is that a comfort thing? I know you can play very, very well, but was it a comfort thing as well? Cause you felt more comfortable with the guitar and singing?
Oh yeah. I'm much more a guitar player than the show kind of, showcases. And the guitar is like what I am. Like if I had another appendage, it would just be that guitar. So when you take that away from me, I kind of wilt like a flower, just kind of die up there. As you can tell, if you ever seen me move without a guitar, it's a terrible sight. And it's just better for the ratings. I told them it's better for your show ratings if you just let me have it the whole time, because I don't want your ratings to drop. Like,
oh, that's funny.
Dance up there.
I don't know about dancing, but you were a good wrestler. You could move as a wrestler when you were in high school. You're a decent wrestler.
Man. I owe a lot to the Saugerties High School for that one, keeping me on my toes.
Yeah, Scotty Wickham's been promoting you big time on Facebook back here, so it's
I got to get on there. I have about 1,000 people to call and thank. It's been so much support back home. It's been mind blowing.
It's awesome. I mean, driving up 9W, coming from Kingston to Saugerties, there's one of those big digital boards that had Team Ian, Team Blake. It's everywhere. It's been so cool to see that, to see the entire town get behind you. It's been really cool.
Now, do you have any plans to come back up here at all?
Well, we're trying to get back there as soon as possible. And right now, this morning, we just booked something a few hours south of New York for April. So we're hoping to get back there late April, early June.
I can imagine if you were in the area July 4th, you'd be the grand marshal of the parade. I could see that.
Oh no, my social anxiety will be through the roof.
Now, talking to my father, because he remembers you, being over the house and hanging out with Andrew during wrestling. Did you take guitar lessons from Chuck Masasi?
Oh yeah, I was on the phone with Chuck this morning.
Oh, that's great. He cut my dad's hair for the last 35 or 40 years, and I actually took keyboarding lessons with Chuck back in the day.
Oh yeah, man, he's a badass piano player. He's good at everything. He's as great at drumming as he is on the keys.
He really is.
Too. So he's just kind of everything. But yeah, no, Chuck's been teaching me since I was 11.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's been the only guitar teacher I've had.
Now, do you have what's next exactly? Like, do you have a game plan? Is there an album? Where do you go from here? I know you're relaxing right now and you need it, but do you know what the next chapter is at all?
Oh yeah, well, right now we have today off, and then tomorrow starts a lot of demos and back on the road. So today's basically the day off, and then tomorrow we go on the road for straight until June, pretty much.
Wow.
And then we have shows that we're booking for in Texas, which we're going to. So we're heading out to Texas soon, and I'll be recording a record on the road and out in the desert in New Mexico. So we're going to be meeting up with like other musicians and just documenting this whole thing, which we'll be posting on YouTube and everything.
Oh, that's awesome.
We've just been, we got a million things going. And the main thing is just creating art and trying to navigate this industry and the pandemic. Now,
this new album, will you have people helping you write the songs, or do you write them yourself?
I have like 30 songs right now that I've written and that I want to record. So I'll probably be doing about 10 of them. And then hopefully collaborating on a few extra that make it there. And there's a few things in the works that I'm hoping will come to fruition sooner than later, but we'll have to see. I can't really say about it yet in case they don't come through.
Okay. Now, if you can collaborate in the future, if there was one other contestant that if you could have your choice to collaborate with, who would it be?
Well, I mean, I have plans to collaborate with all of them. I mean, Jim Ranger and I are meeting up in hopefully in about a month. And Jim and I have this relationship. He's one of my best friends, but we are in this fight to the death always. He's always got to one-up me.
Yeah.
So Jim and I will probably get together and do some shows in Texas with Ryan Berg, who is another contestant on the show. And that's who I'm going to meet out in Dallas, is Ryan Berg. We're going to go have a good time. There's actually quite a few voice contestants that we're going to meet out in Texas. So.
Oh, that's cool. Texas is good.
I would say Jim.
Texas is a good state. And the thing right now is between Texas and Florida, they're what's open with COVID the way it being.
For us, we live in the motorhome, so we're completely like isolated all the time. And the only shows we're doing are all outdoor. And I bring all the sound equipment. So we do a pretty good job.
Limiting your exposure to the extreme, that's good. Did
Yeah, it's hard. I know that they got some bars where they're like 300 deep and inside. It's like, I'm not doing that.
No.
Now, going back to childhood, who were early music influences for you?
You know, to be honest, Hudson Valley, I was always influenced by all the local
Really?
people. And I mean, it's been awesome. I mean, Chuck was a huge influence to me because he was just a guitar teacher. And my dad basically only had 2 records. He was spinning Bob Dylan and Bob Marley. So the Bob.
The Bobs.
But, that's all I ever heard, really. Legend by Bob Marley. But other than that, I mean, like, you know, like the Paul Luke Band, Joey Eppert, Jimmy Eppert, all these guys that I
3
kind of grew up really idolizing.
Oh, yeah. 3.
And yeah, like 3. Like I loved those guys in high school, and I don't know. There's just always been enough local talent to inspire me that I was really. They were my main influences off the bat.
I heard you used to play a mean Jack Johnson in the locker room, though.
Oh yeah, I love Jack Johnson. I love Michael Franti. Yeah, if you talk to Andrew or Cougar Benjamin, you know they'll know. They'll know when you get down to Jack Johnson. Mellow stuff. I was a very mellow young guy.
Any person alive or dead to do a duet with, who would you pick?
Oh my! Well, at this point, Joe Cocker.
There you go. That's it. You got the association there. You may as well do it.
I was hoping he said Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers. Oh, that's the other one.
Yeah,
I told you that was the one I kept saying.
Georgia said that over and over again off air.
Right. That's the one they keep saying, and I actually get it. I listened to a bunch of Kenny Rogers like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, okay, yeah, you're right.
Now, did you have any influence into the song that was picked for you each week?
Sometimes it did, sometimes it did not, and that's the way that goes with that place because
right.
The main thing is a lot of people are watching the show and they think it's all the artist picking, or sometimes people watch and they think it's all the coach and then the artist is just, you know, doing whatever they're told. But the truth is it's all about the copyrights and publishing and what music is available to be performed. Because there's certain artists that don't have their music available for that kind of platform.
Okay, I see.
Now, to take a Sarah McLachlan song, I mean, and make it your own, how difficult did you find that?
That was a complete shock to me. I obviously, you know, it's a beautiful song and I can relate to it in my own life very easily. But for me to sing it was definitely, you know, my heart skipped a beat for sure. But, you know, I take everything as a challenge in a way too. And if I can get over it and overcome it and make it my own, you know, I'm going to grow as an artist. So as soon as they said that, you know, I for a second I was like, okay, that's going to be a little interesting. But then we just made it our own, and I took an arrangement to the band, and within like 5 minutes, we just had it going.
That's awesome.
That had rave reviews, I'll tell you that.
Do they do things to help draw artists out of their comfort zone, like out of their niche? Do they recommend things to you? Or is that just part of the show?
You know, I think it's just part of the show. You know, I think like for me, you know, it's like if we took anybody. If you take me and you go put me in on like a commercial where you got to dance a bit, like for some people, that's going to be like right up their alley. They're going to have the best day of their life. You know, you put me in there and I'm just like, that's the worst thing that could ever happen.
Elaine from Seinfeld.
Can I hold my guitar, please?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, so it's just the type of person. There's people there that are really just entertainers all around. Nothing phases them. I'm a songwriter and a live performance guy. That's pretty much what I do. All the other stuff is new to me. But yeah, so I don't know if they're trying to throw me off, but they did.
But you absolutely embraced it and nailed it. So, you know, kudos to you for being able to step out of your comfort zone and take on that challenge and really, really make it yours.
Oh, yeah, it was all fun though. You know, it's a blessing. I'm very grateful for the opportunity.
You're gonna be still in Florida for Christmas, or you'll be on the road by then?
I have one music friend that lives in Orlando. I think we're gonna stay with him, and then we'll be heading up to Louisiana the day after that. Or no, actually, I think we have a show. It's tough. We're actually playing at an Old Red on the 26th. I'll be playing at an Old Red venue down in Orlando. So after that show, then we're just heading out.
Yeah. What's Old Red?
It's one of Blake's.
It is, okay.
He messaged me the other day, and he's setting me up with a couple shows.
I think he has one of those in Gatlinburg,
Yeah, we were
Tennessee.
in Gatlinburg last year with our youth football team and saw an Old Red in Gatlinburg.
Yeah, he's got a few all over. I know he's got one in Nashville, and he's setting me up with one in Oklahoma for February.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's a great guy, man.
You're only 31 years old, correct?
Right.
And everybody says you have this old soul. What do you think attributed to that?
Oh, I don't even know. I'm just living my life, really.
The Bobs? Bob Dylan and Bob Marley?
Yeah, Bob's. You know, I was listening to Bob Marley's record about 4 million times.
Now I want to see an original Ian Flanigan arrangement on One Love.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun. Maybe I'll do that, actually.
That would be cool.
That's a good suggestion.
You do that on TikTok, that thing will have 5 million hits.
Forget about it. Yeah, the internet will lock
TikTok
up.
is a big thing these days.
Yeah, especially with the younger kids. If that's the crowd you're going for, you put some stuff on TikTok. If people want to follow you now, where could they follow you? Like your tour dates, anything like that? Do you have a site or a Facebook page?
Oh yeah, you know, it's all the platforms. If you type my name in, you'll get up in it. But Instagram is Ian_Flanigan, and Facebook is just Ian Flanigan Music, and then there's always IanFlaniganMusic.com. Otherwise, you can stream everything and catch up. But the YouTube is where we post all our travel videos. So we're really trying to get people to go to the YouTube.
How often will you be posting on YouTube?
We were posting, once every other week, a full video, and we'll probably do a little bit more so now.
Okay.
So
if people want, do you keep that pretty much up to date? So if people want to come out and see you play, that's
yeah, it'll all be up to date.
Okay.
Because I just flew in yesterday and so this is my first day kind of back, but we'll be getting everything up to date within the next few days here, and then we'll be hitting the road.
Yeah, we want to thank you for taking a few minutes out of your extremely busy time, and more so your time with your daughter and your fiance, because we know you've been crazy around the world.
There is no rest for the weary, and you're still going.
Yeah, there's no rest. We begin tomorrow. So it's, I appreciate your time, though. I appreciate everybody back home. I can't wait to get back up there.
Yeah.
And make sure you tell Andrew and Cougar I say hey if you see him.
Absolutely.
I will. I do have one question that I was told I need to ask you, and it was, is your cousin Jen Sickler your favorite?
Yes. Well, you know why I say yes, though, is because I love her. And I love them all equally. So since she got onto the interview, I have to give her a yes.
I said, do you have any questions for Ian? And I got like a list from your whole family.
Oh, that's awesome.
We want to thank you for your.
I love them all. They're so amazing.
That's great. We want to thank you for the time you gave us. Saugerties was behind you 100%. I text Ayla or emailed her. I have drone footage of the drive-in. It was pretty wild that Joe DeFino put on over there with the rocks. What is it? Something rocks. Hope Rocks. Yeah. Hope Rocks put it on. It was amazing, and to see that entire area filled up every time you went out, semifinals, finals, whatever, it was pretty amazing. You definitely have a big fandom back here, so hopefully you can get back here when the weather breaks and the COVID breaks, and you'd probably sell out a show at Canton Field.
And if you get close,
man, I can't wait. And as soon as it thaws, I'll be back up there.
Good. You get close enough, and we'll take the Outlaw Blitz on the road and come see you down there.
Oh yeah, man, anytime, and I appreciate your time too. So thank you so much.
Our pleasure. Ian, we just want you to take a deep breath, enjoy the holidays, and then back out on the road making music for the people that love to hear it.
Well, thank you, man. That's what we're doing.
All right.
All right. Take care, buddy. Thank you for your time.
Have a good one.
Hey, guys. Take care. Happy holidays.
Same to you.
Yo,
good guy, man. Good guy.
Finished third in this year's
I know
finalist. He got fan voted.
It's been coming
and
for
then you
some
can see
time.
that how well he was liked across the country.
When it's over,
He
so
was
they
huge,
say.
and
Listen,
I think
Saugerties can only pump out so many votes.
I think you called it. I think you called it when you said him and his teammate are going to cancel each other out.
Yes.
And listen, any other kid deserved it. He was very
and that's just it. In the perfect world, you're like, all right, in their own way, they all deserve to win. You say, oh, the kid's so young, he can come back and do it again. Well, it's not really. Like,
whoever comes back.
It's true, you don't. But I think third place finish and the amount of exposure he's gotten, really, I think that 3 could be a 1. It doesn't really matter. Ian's going to be making music, and he's going to be successful.
Well, and deservedly so. I mean, he did what you do. You bet on yourself, right? And that's what he did. I mean, it was clear in that interview. They took the dice and they rolled them. They sold everything they had, bought an RV, and
$80 in Nashville.
$80 in Nashville on an open mic night, and come to find out there was a scout for this voice. Unbeknownst to him, right?
That is divine intervention.
Yeah. I was like, God needed to hear that voice. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, or God heard that voice and said, other people need to hear it.
Yeah.
It's it's nice to have a local kid, but to have somebody who, had struggles and overcame them, and then, you rise from the ashes. There's something about this town in the way that you always seem to pick yourself up.
You look at 31 years old, and maybe that's part of the old soul, because his journey has been the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, and he's now in a good place to where he's happy. He's got his daughter, he has his fiance. They're doing what they love to do.
Yeah. And if you looked up the word humble, there's a picture of him.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
He's the most humble, awesome dude.
Yep.
Yeah. So now that is the way to finish out a season.
Hell yeah.
That is an awesome get right there. We want to thank Ayla and Ian Flanigan for coming through on an extremely busy. I mean, you heard him. He just flew in yesterday, and they're leaving in a day or two, and he's taking time away from his family to do an interview.
He
with
just
us.
did the live final on Tuesday. It's now only Friday.
Right.
And yeah, his life has been an absolute, like you heard him say, whirlwind for the last 6 months. And it doesn't sound like it's slowing down.
No. And can you imagine in a non-COVID world where he'd be? Because they'd probably do tours with that group.
Yeah.
Like, I think they used to do stuff like that, right?
Did. I know Idol didn't. I'm not sure if The Voice did, but there's money to be made. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, and you can see he's a Saugerties kid. He wants to come back. He can't wait to come back.
Yep.
We got to take that guitar away from them and see what happens.
Yeah, I want to see the movements.
Yeah.
But no, big shout out to Ian and Ayla, and for them again to take the time out to get back to you and arrange this today. It was kind of short notice, and we made it happen, and he was happy to do it.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Check him out, ianflaniganmusic.com. If you type his name into any of the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you'll get all that. Definitely go to YouTube and check them out, because like he said, they like to update their travels on there and their videos. But I believe that ianflaniganmusic.com is where you'll find all their tour dates that they're going to set up.
Yeah.
Because even if, listen, hey, if you're out of town down visiting somebody, it's not New York and it's not locked down and there's live music playing, you can go check it out. So definitely follow them there. Anything else, bud?
Nah, man, that was awesome. Good way to end it for the year. Start again, not going too much into what we talked about last night. Started on 2 little lapel mics, and we just ended the year with Ian Flanigan.
Yeah.
So
that's a big get at the end, and he doesn't forget where he came from.
No, or the people he hung out with, and
I think there's your Grand Marshal for the 4th of July parade.
If he makes it back, man, that would be huge.
If everything's open, bring him back. Have him do the parade, and then that night do a concert. Like, remember by Lorenz Field, they used to have that stage?
Oh, yeah.
Do a concert, like on the lawn. You have some VIP seats that you pay, and then everybody else pays like $5, and let him do like a nice big concert at Can Time. Let's bring that back this year. Bring that back this year.
That would be awesome.
You know what I mean? And then do the fireworks. Yeah, that's what they should do. Do the concert or do it right on the baseball field.
Listen, I hope he takes my request into consideration. And
I hope. Yeah, I know that one.
That would be awesome, man. That was
I
a great
hope he
song.
does some Kenny Rogers too.
He's got the world in his hand right now.
Yeah.
And I think we see big things.
And that's the thing is he's humble and he's smart and he's you can just hear it in him that he's easy.
Yeah.
And he's going to do it right. It's not like this is going to go to his head. He's not like that. So I could see him really panning out well.
Me too.
So there it is. So now this is the official.
Okay, now we can really say that's the end of 2020 for the Outlaw Blitz interviews.
Season 1
is now completely in the books.
Thanks again to Ian Flanigan. Go to ianflaniganmusic.com to follow him. Go to his YouTube page. Click the like button. Subscribe. Leave a comment for him. Let's get Ian back as the Grand Marshal to the Saugerties 4th of July parade. And let's get Kevin Hinchy on board, and maybe he can do a concert before the game or after, whatever.
Yep.
But we should definitely get on that.
That'd be awesome.
All right, take us home, Winnie.
All right. For Ian Flanigan and G-Mac, this has been the Outlaw Blitz Interview Podcast. And as always, take it deep. The Outlaw Blitz Podcast is a 24 Cross media production.